So today in class we discussed the importance of editing gradients and making sure they look really natural and well thought out. It is very easy to put a gradient. It is not always easy to make the gradient look good. So we talked about making sure you have the right type of gradient for what you're creating, making sure you have the right color combinations in your gradient, and making sure you blend your gradient well. So if you're using Gravit, you're going to click on the file shared with you. You're going to see for part 1, I've given you a few options here and 6 pictures to color with gradients. You're going to choose the labels and just drag them underneath the picture you're going to use that setting for. Okay? I'm going to zoom in a little closer. Each one of these labels has a description of the type of gradient as well as the amount of colors you should use. So let me show you how to add a gradient. Again, you select the shape you are coloring. And on this side here on the right, you should see something that says fill. You should see a circle. In this case, it's black. We're going to click on it. And on top, it says color fill, but we can change that. So in this case, we want it to be linear. So let's click linear instead in that drop down. Now, when we have linear, we should have a little slider, right? They're very similar to Illustrator in that these are color stops. To change these colors or add more, you can simply click anywhere in the slider. If you put too many, you can click drag and drag downward to erase it. Okay, but this one says at least 2 colors, so I'm going to leave it at 2. To change my colors, I can double click on the little square or rectangular thing you see here and choose the kind of color I want. I want this to be like a nice orange for Australia, bright color. And then I'll do the same thing on the black side, and I'm going to make this orange a little darker, actually a little lighter. There we go. Now in this program, there is no gradient tool, but you are allowed to manipulate the gradients by clicking and dragging the little line. It's called an annotator that tells you where your gradient will start and stop. So you have a little control here. Now in Gravit, there is no freeform gradient. There's only linear, there's radial, and there's angular. So let me show you what angular does. So I'm going to select my shape, again go to the fill, change it to angular fill, and it just has like a really sharp angle. And for this one, we're going to use at least 2 colors. Okay, I'll add those colors there, and there we go. When you're done with all 6 of these, I'll probably be asking for a check-in at that point, and then you can move on to the main chunk of today, which is just you adding a really cohesive gradient color scheme to this like app design. So picture that you've been hired by a client. They want a really nice design. You could even make it like dark mode theme if you wanted, but think about a gradient that would really make this app pop and be engaging to a user. When you are done coloring this entire thing, you're going to go to File, Export as a JPEG, and upload that to Google Classroom. Make sure you use really natural gradients and think about your color combinations. Good luck.